everyone, welcome back again. Officially, my channel is 1 week old. I started this channel. My first video was uploaded last week Wednesday. Oh, the love has been overwhelming. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for everyone that has shared, that has liked, that has subscribed, and those of you that joined the channel via word of mouth or YouTube search. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I promise to give you content in all honesty as far as I know. Thank you again. I'm really grateful and I'm thankful. Right, so this is part 2B because the part 2 I dropped, I had to cut it short, stopping about proof of fund and certificate of sponsorship. There's something I still need to tell you guys regarding for nursing. You need any healthcare professional or any profession that involves looking after vulnerable people in the UK. You require a DBS check, which is disclosure and barring service. So a DBS check is required, and because you've never been in the UK before, you've not lived in the UK, they would require you getting a police character report from Nigeria to allow you to submit that for them to do their DBS check. And a police character report lasts for 3 months. So if you do it too early, it may expire before you apply for your visa or before you arrive the UK. So I always advise, try to do it at least a bit later. Say if you're planning to apply for your visa and you're resuming in September, you can do it say in July, August, September, October. So it expires in October. So you apply for your visa early enough, get to the UK in September, and it's still valid for you to use. And a lot of it depends on what state you have, but it's usually done in the state CID police department. So after doing that, most universities will request for you to do other checks to make you get, to give you the eligibility for an unconditional offer. So when I submitted my proof of funds, which for me then, I've got 2 children, and as at 2019, my baby was just a year. My oldest was 2 years and some months. I had to make a tough decision to leave my children. Because with every migration story, no matter how loaded or how wealthy you are, even if you've got family support where you're going to, you have to consider that this family support, they would not pause their life for you. So you have to make some sacrifice. For me, I had to make a lot of sacrifice in terms of, I left my children with my mom. Bless her, she's awesome to me. Shout out to my mom. She was really helpful, and she took up the burden of looking after my children. Imagine leaving a 1-year-old baby and going to a foreign land, all because you want to change your life, you want to make a difference in your world. I had to take that tough decision. I left my baby and her brother, who was the oldest. It was 2 years plus. No, it was 3 years plus as of 2019. I had to leave them with my mom, and then I applied for my visa, myself and my husband being a dependent. So we both applied, and as at 2019, guys, you have to do a visa interview. When you go for your biometrics, you have to do an interview. If you're applying for a standard visa, I think even then, a lot of persons that did priority and super priority, they randomly got called for interviews on the phone. So I had to do, because I applied for standard visa, I applied really early, so I had to do an interview. So the UKVI official has to interview you and drill you to be sure you're coming to school for the right reasons. What are the right reasons? Are you coming to school because you want to make a difference in your society, because you indeed want to improve your life, or are you just using this as a means of leaving your country and absconding, leaving the school? You know, so they had to, it's based on character judgment, what you answer in the interview. Questions will be asked like, why did you choose the course? Why did you choose the university? Why do you want to study in the UK? All these questions will be asked just to ensure you are the right candidate for the university. At that point, all your efforts It's been decided. All the planning, all the strategizing, the planning, the heartache, the waking up at night, the anxiety, everything is tied to that moment. Because if you screw it up, you could get denied. That's the point. Even if the university has presented to the UKVI to say, yes, this person has got a certificate of sponsorship, I'm agreeing for them to come to my university, it's still not enough. They needed to drill you. They needed to know, are you coming in for the right reasons? And they also understand that plans change along the way as well. So you need to be sincere in answering your question and do your research. We need to be able to make our research. Do your research, read about the university. Exactly, why did you choose the university? These are all what you put in your personal statement as to why you want to come to the UK, why you chose the university. So, and the beautiful thing is, for the interview at the UKVI, where you go for your biometrics in Nigeria as a TLS center, it's just you, the student, that does this interview. Your dependent basically goes hassle-free. All you need to present is your marriage certificate and all the documents, including your bank statement, that covers for you and your dependents. If you at all you're going with 10 dependents, it's all your business. But for me, it was myself and my husband, and we applied the same time. So after the biometrics, after my interview, my capturing was done and I was sent home. My passport was left with them. Yeah, now the wait began. Weight of anxiety, waiting of uncertainty. I've done my best. I had to let them make their decision, and also had to trust in God. Yeah, so in as much as my story, it seemed like it was easy, it wasn't. I'm trying to simplify it. There were a lot of uncertainties, what ifs, what would happen as a young mother, I'm leaving my children, what would happen. There were a lot of what ifs, but my family were really supportive. They kept telling me, don't worry, everything will be fine, everything will be okay, and all that. So while I waited, I had to start doing mini shopping, food stuff, and all those things. If you're married to an Yoruba like myself, he doesn't play with his African food. So we had to do all this food shopping and all that. And then, officially, I think you need to wait for 15 working days if you're applying using the standard visa for your visa to come out. And yes, I got my congratulatory mail that my passport was ready for collection. It was emailed to me via DHL. Oh my goodness, I tracked that thing. Hey, day and night, I kept tracking just to ensure, yes, I got my passport and my visa was stamped already on it. It's called, what's it called? A vignette. Yeah, that's it, a vignette. It was stamped just to give me an entry to the UK, because the real visa is the biometric card, which you collect from, if you chose your university. For me, I chose my university to pick up at my university, so I had to pick it up there, or you can choose a post office. One of the questions they ask you at the interview, UKVI, one of the questions they ask you is accommodation. Where do you want to live? Now, there's been a lot of talks about international students struggling when they come into the UK with accommodation. Yes, it's true. Getting accommodation in the UK is a hassle. You need references, you need all these things to enable you get an accommodation. A lot of universities offer university accommodation depending on, well, your situation, your finances and all that. So you can explore all the options. But one of the ways you could also explore is getting an Airbnb, which you can book online. Get an Airbnb, or if you've got family support here in the UK, get someone you could anchor with, like stay with for a couple of weeks or days while you go your house hunting. Most students, most universities has got like student groups. Like my university, if you go to their Facebook page, they've got different, here their student group, Nigerian student group. Those groups are really helpful, because there you get old students who are already in the UK who can help you, with accommodation advice, or even house you. If you have to pay, you pay. Yes. And one thing people need to understand is a lot of people have got this entitlement. They feel like, oh, I know you could. No. If someone goes out of their way to accommodate you, be appreciative, because it's not easy putting someone in your house, even if it's your brother. Which, shout out to my brother, he did a good one for us. And my girls, Princess and Nero, they really did a good one for me. They accommodated me when I got to the UK and they hooked me up. Well, this is part 2B. Part 3, I'm going to talk about settling in the UK, what your dependents can do in terms of jobs, depending on their career pattern, how they can easily shift, like make the career shift from if they are doing care or security to a proper job like cybersecurity and all that. Click subscribe, like, share, please spread the good news. Thank you so much, guys. Again, I do not take this for granted. I'm truly grateful. Share the good news, click subscribe and like. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.